Yo, what's up, guys? Leafs blow a 2-0 lead to the Washington Capitals, losing 4-2, guys. Now, where do we start with this hockey game? Now, obviously, very frustrating that the Leafs blew a 2-0 lead in this game, guys. But to start the game, obviously, we heard that William Nylander wasn't playing in this game due to illness, of course. And finally, Craig Berube grew a pair of stones and said, Max Domi, enough of this nonsense, not being productive at all, and finally decided to healthy scratch the guy. It's about bloody time that Max Domi sat in the stands for a game because he has been nothing but disgraceful to start this hockey season. Being very unproductive this year, guys. Not producing at all. Points-wise, just not helping out defensively, not doing well in the circle when he needed to play center. Just pathetic by Max Domi, and he deserved to sit. Now, we saw Michelli and Joshua draw back into the lineup, playing with Nick Wall on the third line. We saw Robertson playing with Matthews and Nyes. McMahon was playing with Cowan and Tavares, and we saw the fourth line stay the same with Lawrence, Lawton, and Calle Yarncrook. So, everything else was the same. Wall was in net. Defensive pairings were the same. And Joe Wall, again, played great tonight, guys, making 30 of 34 saves. But it didn't start off well, of course, first 20 seconds in, a puck squeaks by Joe Wall. And thank God the referees blew that whistle when they did, guys, because, man, oh man, if they did not blow that whistle for an extra second, it would have been a goal for Washington, an early 1-0 lead. But luckily enough, the refs make a grave mistake. They don't see the puck, blow the whistle early, giving the Leafs a lifeline to keep it at 0-0. But then we saw a few minutes later, Morgan Rielly take a shot on net. Logan Thompson is screened, and Rielly's able to beat him short side. And really good job by Nick Robertson to get in front to screen Thompson for Rielly to take the shot and get the goal. It was a really good shot, and the Leafs, I would say they didn't deserve the goal. Of course, Washington was the way better team in the first period, but the Leafs, ironically enough, took the 1-0 lead. And, of course, Washington was out shooting the Maple Leafs 10-5 in that first period, and they were the ones dictating ice time in the Leafs' end. So Washington was a way better team, but the Leafs found a way to take the 1-0 lead in the first period going into intermission. And then as the second period rolled along, the Leafs were taking two bad penalties. Well, the first one technically wasn't a penalty. Morgan Rielly was just trying to get the puck, and accidentally hits the stick, and the refs call a slashing penalty. That was a bit of a chintzy call. The second penalty was more on Benoit than Matthews, if you guys ask me. But Matthews makes a great play when he comes out of the box, and him and Nyes come in on a 2-on-1, and obviously they don't score there, but Matthews is able to retrieve the puck in the corner, and Ovechkin takes a dive, because he's trying to hit Matthews, and he misses, so he falls to the ground, and Matthews is able to find Nyes, and Nyes is able to score on Thompson to make it 2-0 Leafs. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what? Maybe the Leafs haven't played that well in this game, but they have found a way to take a 2-0 lead in this hockey game, and that's great to see. But the thing is, guys, we all know how the Leafs have had a lot of problems in the second period. Defensively, they have just been absolutely atrocious at times this year. And, of course, McMichael gets one back to make it 2-1. And it's like, okay, fine. You're down 2-1, but you still have some chances to win this game. John Tavares had a breakaway. Logan Thompson robs him. And we obviously saw in the third period as well, Scott Lawton had a chance. But unfortunately, he couldn't bury the opportunity. But then, obviously, guys, you knew it was just a matter of time. You see Washington in the Leafs' own end. And there is good old Morgan Rielly in front of the net, not seeing the Washington Capital player sneaking behind him, Bolivier. And he scores, and it's like, look at Morgan Rielly not looking over his shoulder. It's like, my God, how much, I cannot believe we have to endure this defenseman for another 5 years. It's really sickening to me watching Morgan Rielly play sometimes, regardless of the goal. He ain't a bloody forward. He's a freaking defenseman, and the job he's supposed to do that he gets paid for, he can't do it right. So it's 2-2 Capitals, and you just know the momentum's on their side, of course. And then, of course, the Capitals defenseman who they paid last year, Jacob Chychrun, has 10 goals this year, scores a great shot on Joe Wall, but the defense by the Maple Leafs, again, just putrid, and Chychrun snipes it over Wall, giving him his 10th goal of the year. Guys, he's on a 10-game point streak. Washington leads the league with 22 goals by their defenseman. That must be nice, for the Capitals, huh? You pay a defenseman and he actually produces. That must be incredible to watch, To have a defenseman not only score 10 goals, but to actually go out there and be worth the money that you pay him for. It must be nice, right? When we got our Maple Leafs who can't score get a bloody goal from their defense for the life of them. For them to score 22 goals would probably take them 3 bloody seasons, you know? It's incredible to me to watch how the Leafs defense struggles to not only score goals, just to defend this year alone. And then you see a team like Washington who has defensemen scoring left and right. And the funniest thing is, too, after Washington scored the empty net winner to end this game, this is their first multi-goal comeback of the year. Incredible, man. It's incredible. The Leafs, they have had such a horrendous start to the year, guys. Last year, the Leafs could play bad, but win games defensively and get great goaltending, which they got again tonight. Joe Wall gave them another chance, guys. 30 of 34 saves, like I said, 30 saves on 34 shots. Okay? Their goalie gave them an opportunity to win, but the Leafs could not take advantage of the opportunities that they had, and they didn't have many opportunities. They only had 18 shots on net, compared to Washington's with 35, I'm pretty sure Washington had on net. So, 34, sorry. Honestly, the little opportunities the Leafs had, they didn't take advantage of them, and it came back to bite them. Just another game where their opportunities weren't taken advantage of, and their defensive woes showed again in this hockey game, and Washington took advantage of it, guys. They were the better team most of the game, the Capitals. The Leafs had the advantage, and they didn't take it. You cannot be blowing 2-0 leads in the NHL. You are going to pay for that. You honestly are, and the Leafs paid for it again tonight, and it's like, where is the production? Honestly, Matthews didn't do much on other than assists. McMahon's done absolutely nothing for over 2.5 weeks. McMahon and Joshua, we know they've Michelli and Joshua have been a disappointment on top of McMahon. Obviously, Domi's been a major disappointment, stealing $3.5 million. Obviously, that's why he didn't play today. Nylander not playing today dramatically hurt them, of course. Obviously, he's a top 5 scorer in the league, so obviously him not playing is going to hurt you. But that don't matter. You still cannot blow a 2-0 lead. Listen, Thompson made some big saves for the Capitals to give them this win. If it wasn't for him, they don't win this hockey game. But that's the thing. You got to get timely saves, and they did. And Joe Wall made some timely saves for the Leafs. But like I said before, guys, you don't bury your chances, you ain't winning, guys. And that's the most frustrating thing. Their penalty kill is the only positive thing right now. They've stopped 16 of 17 power plays to Maple Leafs. So their PK's been good, but no power plays tonight on top of it all. That is a shame. You can't draw any bloody penalties, can't get on the power play. And don't get me wrong, guys, I know the power play is absolutely putrid right now, but still, try to get a man advantage or something, and guys like John Tavares didn't have a great game tonight, -3. Cowan didn't have a great game tonight, -3. Just so many guys are underperforming right now at the wrong time, and you can see it, man. Craig Berube, he's putting the lines in a blender. He doesn't know what the hell to do. Matthews is the quarterback of the power play in the last few games before. It's like Craig Berube is throwing this team in a blender. He doesn't know what to do. His hands are up in the blood here. The way this team is playing right now is a shell of what they were doing last year. Last year was a completely different hockey team defensively compared to what they are now, and it doesn't look like they're getting out of this funk anytime soon. They just look like a 500 hockey team. Right now, they're a below 500 hockey team. And right now, it does not look like it's going to get any better. Your leaders are not performing. Your best players are not performing. And you can see it. The team is suffering mightily right now. When you got guys like Morgan Riley not doing their job. Matthews isn't scoring right now. Willie was obviously sick, like I mentioned. John Tavares has been great. He just had an off night, which is fair to John because he's been carrying the workload for the team most of the year so far. You need other guys to come in there and be productive for at least one bloody game. And that seems that is just too much to ask right now from certain players right now. And I don't know where the Leafs go from here, guys. Obviously, the good thing is you're playing on a back-to-back. You're going to play Pittsburgh tomorrow. Hildeby looks like he's going to get the start. Joe Walsh plays 6 straight games, six solid games now. So he deserves a break. But now the question is, where do you go from here? You got to get right back out on the horse and try to get 2 more points tomorrow. And that's another thing, too. You could have tried to get into overtime and get a point, and the Leafs couldn't even do that. So they're failing at a lot of things right now, guys, and it's very frustrating to see. The lines are a mess right now. The way they're playing is a mess right now. Everything is a bloody mess regarding the Maple Leafs right now, guys. I don't know where they go from here, honestly, guys, but tonight was just another example of how this Maple Leafs team has been playing this season. Just unacceptable performances by individuals, unacceptable performance by the team as a whole, especially in that third period. The last 10 minutes, my God. Not good enough, man. Not good enough. To give up 3 out of 4 unanswered, including the empty netter, is not good, guys. So, guys, I'm done talking about the Leafs for today. Click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. And we'll see you guys on an episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.